I still have a lot to do with the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Итак, здравствуйте, дорогие подписчики и зрители канала. Меня по-прежнему зовут Александр, и мы продолжаем играть наконец-то в Genshin Impact. В прошлый раз мы прервались на квесте. На ежедневки потом оставлю. Ладно. Отслеживать цель. Угу. В принципе, мы близко. На квесте, где нам повстречалась женщина, которая медитирует. И она утверждает, что Сумеру больше не видят сны. Вернее, их видят только дети. И когда у нее появился какой-то необычный сосед, которого видит только она и мы, она увидела сон.
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand.
И что ты отказался от сигнале?
I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem?
Ну, в его словах доля правды есть.
As Sage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul.
Видимо, не хочет в городе жить.
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the academia.
Видимо, в академии его сильно ценили.
Sage Kaji,
Потом он ушел.
I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Короче, он сливается.
Well, it turns
Конкретно.
out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his
Хаджех его зовут.
I see. Huh.
У них
And I
имена, как
figured
у
that given his
каджетов из
temper,
Скайрима,
he
кстати.
would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kaji?
Сейчас они найдут, чем ты можешь
Once
помочь,
you've
а?
arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
Заманивай,
How long will
смотри,
I be
заманивай.
required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Сейчас они
Do
тебя
you
там
mean to
закроют и
tell me
будешь в
that
городе
despite
сидеть.
coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Смотри-ка, отмазался, молодец.
So be it.
Ушки, кстати, у нас прикольно колышутся. Ну, не у нас, вернее, а у Тигнари. Тигнари-то у нас персонажа нету в команде. Из новых только Калеи пока что. Но я бы хотел выбить Дори. Максимально классный хиллер. Видали, да, как она дерется, сидя на Джине? Забавно получается.
It's nothing. Some people
Такое
from the
ощущение, будто бы
academia
хотели
wanted to
сначала
go to
сделать ее
Sumeru
пятизвездочной.
City to assist them with a project.
Судя
But
по
I had to refuse on
оригинальным
account of all
анимациям.
my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
Хайпися, точно.
It was quite the eventful trip.
Там девушку
But the
звали
main thing
Хайпися,
is
я
that
вспомнил.
she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions for us too.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru
А сейчас он нам это задание поручит, чтобы самому не идти, да?
Meet Lesser Lord Kusanagi
Как удобно,
and
когда
ask
есть
her permission.
путешественник терпила, который за всех все
Do you
сделает.
have any idea on how we can find her?
Ну давай, куда
Sorry,
тебе надо?
I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know
Надо
anyone
будет,
we
кстати,
can try
посмотреть, что со
asking in
звуком в игре.
Sumeru City?
Потому что на записи игру вообще не слышно. Только
My
мой
trips to
пердеж на
Sumeru
камеру.
City
И
have
все.
been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are researchers. How about this?
О, сел
I'll
уже
write you a
спину
letter of
разминать.
introduction that you can give to a
Ребята,
researcher.
никогда не толстейте.
He's from the
Если вам
Immorta
кто-то
Darshan
предложит
and is
потолстеть,
adept at
вы
gathering
вежливо
information. Asking
откажитесь.
him might prove
Скажите,
worthwhile.
иди-ка ты,
Also,
Ванус,
when you enter
не буду я
Sumeru
толстеть.
City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh, what is it?
Что за инструмент? Ну-ка
It's
давай.
called an Akasha terminal.
Терминал Акаши.
A tool produced by the
Почти как
academia
Какаши из
that
Наруто, да?
utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, Some say that this very item is the basis of Sumeru's reputation as the city of wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City!
Обращаться с Калеей.
Oh,
Как бы она у нас в команде.
that's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave.
У нее
Is she
похмелье,
doing
чувак.
better now?
Yes, she's doing much
После
better.
грибов.
After being confined to her bed all this time, I
Надеюсь, за
thought a
такую
little
игру
walk would
нас
do
не
her some
забанят.
good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Ждет.
Tainari. All right,
И
let's
когда
go.
побежали,
Farewell.
скажем, давай ты пойдешь с нами. Нам как раз не хватает вот такой классной зелененькой девчонки. Да и бежать недалеко, да? А то раньше у нас квесты, о, собачки, очень далеко друг от друга находились. А в Сумеру решили нас порадовать. Даже легким перемещением. Угу. Я просто желаю вам доброго пути. Ну, спасибо, Джо. И тебе всего хорошего.
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Калея, береги себя.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And,
А, кстати, у Тигнаря зеленые глаза. По цвету его
I should have told you
стихии,
both
да?
about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend. Not some girl that needs your sympathy. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be
Быть
genuine with one another.
искренним. Ура, сила дружбы, жвачка.
We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be
И
your friend
показывают
and
жопу
sharing
собаки,
your
смотри.
past with us.
Виляющий
We're probably
хвостик.
still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about
И
you.
смотрит она в стенку. Странная собачка. Какие-то кошачье поведение у него.
Before you
У
leave,
нее.
I have something for you.
Oh,
Это вам? Что это?
It's my recipe for pita
Это
pockets.
рецепт питы,
I
вау.
told you that I'd give
Хочу.
you a copy, remember? My handwriting is a little messy, so
Не смейтесь, у
please
меня
don't
плохой
laugh.
почерк. Как же я тебя понимаю.
now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas
Насчет
whenever and
почерка.
wherever we like.
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville.
Конечно. Естественно.
I, trainee forest ranger
Я
Kale,
стажер
bid you
дозора,
both farewell.
желаю вам счастливого
Please
пути.
visit Gandharvaville
Да,
again.
муж, очень ты напоминаешь нам старую добрую Эмбер. Ну, молодцы. О, рецепт дали. Так, у нас есть средства на одну крутку. Думаю, особо не копить. Давайте покрутим. С надеждой. Вау, ни хрена. Анус мне в запеканус. Угу. 47. Надеюсь, на эту красавицу накопится. Да, я выбиваю Кокоми. Потому что она мне нравится. Я вообще люблю хиллеров. Вообще стараюсь во всех РПГ, да, даже не РПГ, играть за персонажей поддержки, да, там, которые хилят, щиты кидают, да. И при этом, которые сами навлять могут. Поэтому мой выбор очевиден. Я уже почти 60 круток накатал. Но что-то ничего не выпало. Путного. Даже на 10 выпало оружие. Так, что там надо делать? А. Дендра. Давай. Люди. Ой. Кнопки путаю. Вжух. Вжух. Человек, но паук. Бывает такое, да? Охраняют рундук. Делаем так. А, ты что подпрыгнул, козел? Вообще не попал, смотри. Так, паром. Теперь электрификация пошла. Ой. Я извиняюсь. I'm sorry. Там уже все реакции. И пар идут, и перегрузка. Чё хочешь, короче. Как говорится, на вкус и цвет, да? все фломастеры разные.
I suppose this will do.
Так, а телепорт же там был у меня где-то. Да, вот, смотрите. Не так уж и далеко, зато лезть никуда не надо. Тоже плюс. А, я звук хотел, подожди. Звук... Общая громкость 5, 6, 7, 8, наверное, поставим. Потом посмотрим, что получилось. Так. Не попадает в микрофон. Хорошо, идеально. Я, как говорится, счастлив и доволен. Привет, ВИЧ-доктор. Я пропадал в больницу. Я пролежал 3 недели в больнице, потом неделю дома снимал этот Divinity, а потом опять на 2 недели в больницу. У меня, в принципе, этот год прошел в больнице из-за моей оторванной руки. Как твои дела? Рассказывай.
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city.
Привет, Игрок. Я рад вас видеть. Своих любимых частых подписчиков. Наверное, если мой канал потом разовьется, а он разовьется, я планирую еще несколько новых рубрик очень классных, вот. Я вас буду помнить всегда. Спасибо вам за поддержку, и если не сложно, пожалуйста, поставьте лайки. Вау, что такое летит? Вау. Блин, так бы классно, если бы добавили сюда русскую озвучку, да? У меня уже глаза болят читать, особенно после всяких этих Baldur's Gate, вот этих Divinity Original Sin, хотя ради них можно и глазами пожертвовать. Так. Вот очень знакомый голос у этой озвучки, у ученого. Он, в принципе, часто безумных ученых озвучивает в маленьких играх. Особенно была игра, по-моему, очень старая, если вы знаете, Crazy Machines. О, листья какой-то. Вот, и там ты должен был решать загадки, и вот этот же голос ученого, да, тоже ученого, который, ну, он комментировал постоянно. Кстати, вас не смущает имя вот этого ученого? Его зовут Панах. Что-то напоминает, да? Какое-то пирожное, по-моему. Да. Да, услышу я голос божественной мудрости. А, нифига себе. Жук, какие-то эти могучие рейнджеры. Вау. Это они, походу, к общей сети подключили, знаете, это у них местный Wi-Fi. Или типа, не знаю, там мир это матрица или что-то подобное. Да, такова сила Акаши. Какаши-сенсей. Путешественники, добро пожаловать в Сумеру, да пребудет с вами мудрость Дендра Архонта. Ну, спасибо. Теперь мы с модными наушниками. Местные AirPods рулят, да, вот эти вот классные, мятного цвета такого. Блин, я бы хотел такой AirPods в таком цвете. Давай, ВИЧ-доктор, удачи. Спасибо, что зашел. А на днях будем проходить Dark Souls 3, так что тоже далеко не уходи. Скоро будет у нас серия Souls-лайков. Будет Dark Souls, Code Vein, и потом еще раз пройдем Elden Ring. Что-то мне захотелось прям в такие игры поиграть. А Genshin я просто, ну как, не то что для галочки, мне просто интересно, что здесь новое появилось. У меня то же самое. Голос, конечно, у Паймон капец бесительный. Я понимаю, что актер озвучки постаралась, но он уши режет, даже когда тихо стоит. Я попробую спросить Акашу о другом. Ты такой умный, о чем думаешь спросить? Какого цвета у нее трусики? Я думаю, почему Акаши... Так. Так, великая властительница Рукхахвата. Угу. Это типа властительница, которая была до Кусанале. Понятно. Спасибо, что озвучили. Угу. Похоже, жители Сумера очень скучают по ушедшему божеству. А похоже, на Кусанале, эту маленькую архонтку, им вообще насрать. Я думаю, а почему Акаша не ответила на вопрос? Есть. Конечно. Окей. Для своих любимых подписчиков я на выходные поставлю Dark Souls 3. Вы будете смотреть, как у меня подгорает пукан. Я буду тут, не знаю, гореть, кидать в стену чашки. Но это будет весело, я обещаю. Я думаю, малая властительница Кусанали. Опять спасибо, что озвучили. Как хорошо, да, вот мысли писать. Можно хер на них забить. Значит, ты чувствуешь то же, что и Паймон, а это успокаивает. Несмотря на все старания, мы не можем найти ничего, что привело бы нас к малой властительнице Кусанали. Думаю, стоит встретиться с исследователем, которого дикция обожаю. Порекомендовал Джигнари. Она из Сумеры и работает в Академии, поэтому он должен быть в состоянии получить больше информации об Акаше. Голос Какаши-сенсея. Чудеса света. Ну, я даже спорить не буду, правда те чудеса? Блин, смотри. Чуть-чуть осталось. Хотя это чуть-чуть, наверное, будет выполняться неделю, а то и 2. Минимум. Опа. Это я кого-то пропустил. А, все. Работа. Я тебя очень понимаю. Сочувствую. Я тоже по сутки через 2 работал до травмы. Сейчас уже скоро выписываюсь, тоже опять буду сутки через 2 работать. Удачи тебе на работе, брат. Похоже, возникло недопонимание.
What a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So, you two just have some questions for me? Seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha. Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
Акаша не дала ответа на мой вопрос. Кто бы сомневался? Да? Я думаю, да.
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the sanctuary of Surasthana or made a public appearance.
Ты имеешь в виду такие выходные? Понятно. Ясно. Слушай, прости за нескромный вопрос, а где ты так работаешь? Если, конечно, не секрет. Это всего лишь мое предположение. Возможно, кто-то другой сможет вам помочь.
And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing. In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha, and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom. Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years.
То есть мы еще и умственные способности ограничим вот этой штукой, да? А может быть и мы сны с помощью этого отключают, да? Раз уж они жалуются.
don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me. Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the academia.
Ну да.
Oh, Paimon's expectations were pretty low,
да?
but this is so low, it's like digging holes in the dirt. So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody
Знаешь,
here.
а у нас-то есть еще один знакомый.
Huh? Like who?
К звездам и безднам? В смысле?
Oh, you're right!
Катерина?
Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own intel network. Let's hurry and
Серьезно?
find her.
Ничего себе. Так, и куда? А, туда же, да? У нас есть точка телепортации, вполне себе удобная. Можем через нее пойти. Па-па-па-па-пам. Ну чё, Катерина, рассказывай нам.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Hello, traveler in Paimon.
Привет.
Catherine, we need your help with something.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you. With what do you require assistance?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. Please wait.
Это классно. Это очень классно. Наверняка и платит
I
хорошо.
apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant
Только,
information
наверное,
in the
опасно работать.
Akasha. I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Aww, another dead end. Well, if Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of
Не
information.
самая информативная.
Rather, there are
Ладно,
numerous
я
active
запомню.
mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites. They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they
Пустынники,
naturally
говоришь?
accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenary brigades.
Средненько, да.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Supposedly, they are named as
Ну
such
ничего,
because
потом
their ranks
повысят,
numbered 30
найдешь.
at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30,
Должность получше.
maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, he and his words carry
Ну
great
да,
weight
нормально.
within mercenary circles.
На самом
If
деле
you'd like
неплохо.
to get in contact with him,
Потому
you
что у
can
нас
find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters,
такие есть работы,
the Citadel
где
of
по
Rexar.
10-15 платят. Я не знаю вообще, на что можно жить на 10... Ну как прожить на 10 тысяч. Так, спасибо, Катерина.
You're welcome. I wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
Alright, off to the Citadel of Rexar we go!
Войны. Юнус. Большая рыба. А где у тебя там большая рыба? Ну да. Главное, что есть работа стабильная. Повышение всегда будет. Главное, технику безопасности соблюдать. А остальное придет.
Ask you about something.
У меня есть знакомые, которые и в 25 на батиной шее сидят.
So,
Так что,
Catherine's the one who sent you this way.
как-то так.
Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Wait, seriously? That's it?
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we can access even less than you. We originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own 2 hands to carve out a living. We don't beg gods for their aid. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most
чисто похер, смотри на это.
aren't interested in
Это
lesser
Куснали, она типа как затычка. Был у них хороший властитель. Он пропал, они такие, ну, будешь новым архонтом, типа вообще на себя насрать. Лишь бы был.
Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late greater Lord Teyvata. In their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened to inherit her legacy. Because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Teyvata and hold her in greater esteem. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance, and the Academia never announces anything about her. As far as the people of Sumeru are concerned, she's just a god that exists.
Божество, которое просто существует. Ну, значит, я был прав. Незавидное мне положение. Но мы уже видели со сливов, с этих с постов, что новый архон Сумеру это лолька маленькая. И она очень молодая, неопытная, так сказать.
Doesn't worry about her reputation among people like us.
All right. Well, thanks for the info, Osfond.
No problem. Always happy to help out the Adventurers Guild.
Seems Osfond was right about most people's attitudes here.
Такая спокойная атмосфера, да? Чайная, я даже сказал. А чай я забыл заварить. Какой я козел? Свой цветочный чай со вкусом осментус вайн.
Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Ну, только нас интересует,
you two
походу.
are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Kusanali?
Huh? Who are you?
Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Lesser
Да,
Lord
конечно,
Kusanali,
хотим знать.
right?
Давай, рассказывай.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad. One of
Господи,
Lesser
какие у
Lord
них имена,
Kusanali's
просто
faithful
охереваю.
followers.
Дуньязада, господи. Ой, твой отец тебя, видимо, не хотел и не любил вообще. Дуньязада, господи. Дуньязада. Одного зовут Хер какой-то там, член, не помню. Был тут человек. Вторую тоже как-то звали через одно место. Я в шоке. Видимо, японцы просто не знали, как назвать, да? Спросили у кого-то русского, он такой, блин, я ща я вам придумаю. Вы записывайте, главное, записывайте. Дуньязада, блин. Дендрархон доставил меня, подумал о отчаянии. Ему ничего не оставалось, как смириться со своей судьбой. Окей, а что дальше?
The calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying on his own strength, he managed to overcome the adversity. At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon. She said, "Oh, Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you. Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder, we'll be wherever you go."
Поистине удивительная легенда.
Yeah, thanks for the story. Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
In a way. It seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad, Since you worship Lesser Lord
Дурьязад.
Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Of course. So did you two know that, I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Hey, wait! What the heck
Что она очканула? Кажется, это связано с теми людьми. Бандиты?
They're searching for someone.
Бандиты, я думаю.
Dunyarzad was acting super nervous.
Неужели они гонятся за ней? За Дуньязадой.
This stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali. We can't let them get in the way now.
Я бы побоялся девушку с таким именем.
Get rid of them. Then we can catch up with Dunyarzad.
Дуньязад.
Have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her!
Лохи повели. Попались.
That should keep him busy for a while. Let's hurry and find Dunyarzad.
Дуньязад. А чё ее догонять? Она здесь. А чё? Ладно, мы в квесте находимся. Так, где на крыше? Ну, вот. Спряталась.
There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone by now.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there looking for
Чё
me.
тебя все хотят так сильно, а?
Oh, looks like there's some coming this
Рассказывай,
way.
докладывай. А мы послушаем. Дуньязада.
Then what are we standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. It's difficult for me to run.
Надо найти укрытие.
Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to. They probably wouldn't expect me to hide in a place like that.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
Па-па-па-па-па-па-па-па-па. Так. Что-то все свалили со стрима. Чё уж так скучно-то. Ничего. То сегодня, я думаю, пройдем сюжетку. Если получится. Да, у нас получится, да? Получится.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait,
Ой.
stand down, Dia.
Котик. Привет, киса. Это в шоке. О, ты что делаешь? О.
My lady, who are these two?
А ты, получается, у нее защитница,
They're
да?
travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me, so they helped me hide.
I see. In that case, you two should scram. There's nothing here for
Киска.
you.
Wait a sec. Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here
Я
to see that she
телохранитель
returns home
Дуньязады.
safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
And if I refuse to go with you?
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going,
Серьезно?
then I'll have to
Ты
carry you
будешь её
like a
тащить?
sack of potatoes.
Женские бои, да? Я бы на это посмотрел. Можете начинать.
Why are you still pushing her?
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation. Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
How much?
Wait, what?
Что?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time and I'll get that much.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my
ее, в принципе,
principles.
намного дороже, чем
That's
Мора.
why I'm here looking for you. Sure, it's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me it's the right thing to do. And knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people being stubborn right now are my parents. And they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. They still won't accept reality. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, you've been living with us a long time already. This should be old news to you. Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to. Because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents. This is my life and my last chance. So I want to do something meaningful.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure. At least, it is to me.
Fine. I won't ask you to return home
Что за
anymore.
фигня у меня с
But let me
интернетом?
make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination, not because I agree.
Стрим
with
еще
you.
идет, да?
Thank you, Dia.
Не понял.
Sorry for being so rude just now. My nerves were acting up. And I even brought up your payment in such an offensive way.
Don't worry about it, my lady. I
Да.
did say that I like Mora. Besides,
Странно,
that's our
ладно.
next topic of
У меня
conversation.
глюк какой-то был.
Today's little excursion
чат-
caused
чат
such a
завис.
ruckus that every single
Сейчас никто не
bodyguard at the
пишет, но все
estate
равно
was
должен
deployed.
работать.
It wouldn't be easy to hide things from your old man. Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me. We can settle the bill when we return to the estate.
Okay, deal.
Ну, молодцы, подружки. Нашли в итоге общий язык. Ой, что с животом? Дуньязада, ты в порядке?
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop trying to look tough. We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some grub.
Я согласен.
I'm sorry for
Передохнуть
worrying
бы.
you two.
Было бы
If you don't
неплохо.
mind, I'd like for you to join us.
Sure, after you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Хуюсаналь. Какое интересное задание. Отдохните в таверне. Я даже не против. Так и мужчина.
Haven't seen you in nearly half a year.
Полгода не
Word on
видел.
the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Ha, don't you find that kind of work
Наконец-то
boring?
начали хотя бы другие
you get
mодельки
used to it.
NPC
How about a
добавлять,
menu
да?
over here?
You got it, huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't get to serve personages like you very often. We'll be sure to prepare our very best.
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
Не стоит беспокоиться, мы неприхотливы в еде.
Yeah, we're already super grateful for everything you told us about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
How about our coconut charcoal cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap.
Это случайно не
Other
ее
customers
рецепт
over
нам
there
давали?
are eating some now.
They look kind of Paimon will pass.
Ага, тот редкий случай, когда Паймон придирается к еде.
Hey, come on! Paimon has personal preferences too, you know. Dunyarzad, we asked a lot of people when we first arrived, and almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. So, what made you want to follow her?
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her before.
Huh? Really?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year. I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious state for several days. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. Even if I cried, there was no sound. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Спасибо, что повторили. Откуда ты знаешь мое имя? Как бы тебе это объяснить? Не думаю, что ты поймешь, но я знаю о тебе все. Моя Дуньязада. Правда? Конечно. Я знаю, что ты боишься огромного, ненавидишь утренние лекарства и любишь читать лепестки на маминой юбке. Год, ты действительно знаешь все. Дуньязада, о чем ты мечтаешь? Мечтаю? Я никуда не выхожу и ничего не делаю. У меня нету мечты. А? Ну ты же ребенок, у всех детей есть мечты. Возможно, я смогу исполнить твою. Ты можешь сделать так, чтобы я выздоровела? Прости, но сейчас у меня не хватит на это сил. Блин, печально. Очень печально. Тогда можешь стать моим другом? Это еще печальнее. И что она ответила? Да, давай будем друзьями, без проблем.
Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things. Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel, deserts, and all of Teyvat. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming. But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Teyvat.
Это была малая властительница Кусанали?
Yes, for sure. If it
Она
weren't
же,
for that
по-моему,
voice,
с
I
нами
would have
тоже
never grown
общалась, да?
curious about the outside world.
Возможно, она таким образом
Nor
со
would I have
всеми и
learned how to
общается.
read and enjoy so many books. That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Sub-Zero's festival for her.
What's the Sub-Zero's festival?
Сабзира. Сабзира это
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's
персонаж
birthday,
Mortal
which was the day
Kombat.
that she was found by the sages. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of
Да,
the Lesser
видимо,
Lord's
Кусанали
birthday.
все подъедает за
I
этой
heard everyone was
кукрахватой.
overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. In those days, the festival was a huge deal. But because of the Academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest in the festival. The Academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Sub-Zero's festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it doesn't exist. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death, so they're reluctant to celebrate it.
Да, довольно логично, кстати. Очень мерзко.
Sure, the Greater Lord founded Sumeru, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get too carried away now.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sub-Zero's festival to this day, but I hadn't met any of them before, so I was never able to contribute. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord Kusanali. I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year. That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilu? The one who sends flowers to the estate?
Это та самая водяная рогатая женщина. Ну, рогатая не потому, что ей изменяют, а потому что она поклоняется богу цветов. Если быть точным.
Did you give her something?
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much more prepared. So I had Nilu sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilu to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today and see how things are coming along. Dia, would you accompany me?
Sure. That's quite the trip, though. I'll carry you.
No, that would be too much, even for you.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us. If anything happens to you, then I'd really never hear the end of it from your father.
But of course. Nilu will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
О, я даже сижу, смотри. Все, на выход. Классная, кстати, фейка дается за квест. Там на выбор, по-моему, 5 цветов по стихиям. Бежать недалеко, смотри-ка. Только надо оббежать, наверное, это место. Цветосик. Так. О, нифига себе. Тут даже пещера есть. О. Какая многоуровневая локация, да? Сумеру не перестают удивлять. Особенно... Вау, ножки-то какие. Особенно своим удобным перемещением. Прошу прощения, я опоздала. Дурьязада, господи.
You could say that, but everything worked out. She's on our side now.
Not completely.
Oh, and who are these two?
Путешественники?
Meet the Traveler and Paimon, my two newest friends. They're visitors who just arrived at Sumeru City and are looking for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali.
So you're followers from another land?
Вы чужеземные почитаете? Так. Вообще-то нет.
Oh, really? Well, that's okay. You're still invited to the Sub-Zero's festival.
Это такой же фестиваль по... Ну, типа то, что был в Юэ, да? Опять подставные трупы архонтов. Нет, спасибо. Это слишком жутко.
Probably? But don't sweat it. We've already finished renovating the stage.
Танцовщица получается,
Come
да?
on, I'll show you.
Ну давай мы заценим твою сцену. Фига себе. Оружие. Серьезное у них. Вау, а сцена-то впечатляет на самом деле. Хорошо получилось. Когда я была здесь в последний раз, у лестницы были дыры. Надеюсь, никто не поранился. Лестница — это мелочь. Недавно мы обнаружили, что с дерева на сцене может упасть большой кусок коры. Блин, какая у вас опасная работа. Вроде бы актеры, да, но на них падают всякие неприятные штуки. Слушай, а почему никто не решает этого вопроса вообще, а? Наверное, потому что это была просьба театра. Люди из Академии всегда свысока смотрят на нас, певцов и актеров. Думаю, они будут рады, если театр закроется навсегда. Ну, тогда понятно, откуда все проблемы. Как обычно, они, видите, думают, что это город только для ученых, и искусства здесь места нету. Вот козлы. Хотя ученые должны ценить искусство все-таки, да? Уметь расслаблять свой мозг, как-никак. Кроме алкоголя как-то. Во время праздника сцена будет еще прекраснее, вот вы увидите. Ну, показывай. Говорить-то каждый может, правильно? Вот показать. Это наша мечта. Я буду стараться изо всех сил. Какая искренняя девочка. Очень напоминает Бебру, ну, Барбару, которую. Кстати, тоже водяная. Но это, по-моему, не будет лечить, это чисто на атаку. Я видел на ютубе сливы ее способностей. Не знаю, там удалили видео, не удалили. Она делает меч водяным и при ударе пускает волны. Да, очень напоминает нашего любимого этого, блин. Ух, я забыл. Аяту. Точно. Чем-то. Давным-давно, когда великая властительница Рокхарвата праздновала свой день рождения, друзья устроили пир в ее честь. На этом пиру божества напились. Кто-то стал играть на музыкальных инструментах, великая властительница Рокхарвата начала петь, а божество цветов танцевать. Пока божество цветов исполняло свой танец, бесчисленные прекрасные педисары. Надо запомнить, педисары. Да. Знаешь, звучит немножко грустно. Разве? О, ты, должно быть, имеешь в виду, что божества из этой истории ушли из жизни. Даже если этих божеств больше не существует, традиция танцев в их честь осталась. Мой костюм задумывался специально для этих танцев. Логично.
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon. I also noticed that you went the extra mile and scattered Padisaras.
Я вижу, вы расположили педисары, но это, видимо, цветок такой интересный. Ну, выглядит невыразительно, если честно.
Yeah. The Greater Lord brought forth Padisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers.
Да.
But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful purple.
Тем временем уже почти час снимаем, сидим.
If my stage were anything like that, I'd be thrilled if I had just 2 real Padisaras on the stage. So, Traveler and Paimon, what do you think? Interested in the Sabzeruz festival? Will you two be coming?
Пойдем. У меня что, есть выбор? Мне нужны примагемы. Вот такой вот я корыстный путешественник. Ты просто хочешь повеселиться, да? Эй, нет ничего плохого.
So how about we all attend the Sub-Zerus festival together?
Договорились.
Dunyarzad, let me show you which stage decorations we've picked out so far. Traveler and Paimon, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then feel free to explore the area. Everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're all looking forward to the Sub-Zerus festival. In that case, we'll take a look around.
Наконец-то дело дошло до осмотреться. А типа всех опросить надо? Написано прогуляться. Ну-ка, давай рассказывай. Девочка. Кстати, не намного она ниже нас, как оказывается. На празднике будет много интересного, но самая лучшая часть это, когда Фалис, рыцарь цветов, раздает всем сладости. Согласен, я бы тоже сходил. Очень полезная информация для расследования. Блин, классный у нее наряд. Хотел бы я увидеть на него порно-косплей. Было бы неплохо, да?
Two things that the academia doesn't particularly approve of. Oh, and the perfume sold around here is a lot better than what you'll find elsewhere. The fragrances are longer lasting and they're gentler on your skin and... I mean, that's what I've heard at least.
Типа ты не при делах, да? Ну-ну. Буду иметь в виду. Фархат.
Things are really shaping up and there's a buzz around the festival this year. We're expecting people from all over to come by this year.
Наверняка на этом празднике опять что-то произойдет, да, как в прошлый раз с этим, с дедом нашим любимым. Но вы, наверное, в курсе, да, как он подстроил все в итоге.
Sure, those folks at the academia might not like it, but what's a festival without song and dance?
Тоже очень информативный человек. Так, а ты кто? Шриматя. Ну хотя бы у тебя имя более-менее нормальное, бабуль. Тебе повезло. На празднике мы увидели танец Сабзерус. Ах, как я танцевала в молодости. В детстве я спросила свою бабушку, если танец божества цветов предназначался высшей властительнице Рухавати, то почему танцуем для малой властительницы Кусанали? Это почетные божества, поэтому надо праздновать так же, как и для старой. А если она в другое время родилась? Вы об этом не подумали? Прикол, и окажется, что эти два божества, ну типа, которое одно пропало и новое, это все одно божество. Было бы вполне себе прикольно. И потом они объединяются, да? Спасибо, бабуль. Дурезада. У тебя очень красивое платье. Оно не похоже на то, которое было на тебе, когда мы впервые встретились. И чем вы там таким занимались? Повесточкой, да? Современной. Ты сама пришила? Какая ты молодец. Да, у нас в театральной труппе шить не все умеют, поэтому мы сами создаем костюмы. Ты знала, что Зубаир умеет не только шить костюмы, но и реквизит тоже сама делает. Хочешь примерить эту корону? Ты постоянно на нее смотришь. А что, можно, что ли? Да, конечно. Легенда говорится, что у божества цветов на голове были красивые рога. Корона была сделана, чтобы показать это. Ах, Дурезада. Дурезада. Дуньязад. А нам покажите, как она выглядит в этой короне. Почему нам не показывают? Я не видел. Может быть, она ее обманула? А скорее нас разработчики обманули. Катерина. Нифига себе, она что, вышла, реально? Я думал, она только за своей стойкой живет. Странно. Наверняка у нее есть какая-то тайна. Катерина. От звездам к безднам.
Oh, hey! It's the traveler in Paimon. What's shaken?
Привет, привет.
Oh, break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual. Paimon was still waiting for her to say add extra abasosk.
Ой, да что она хрустит.
Standing behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild doesn't require any complicated functions. But saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get pretty monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie day after day. But take you two, for example. You travel across Teyvat to enrich your lives and gain new experiences.
Well, we enjoy traveling across Teyvat and all that. but we're mainly looking for clues about his sister.
Интересно, у Паймон есть какая-то цель? Или она бескорыстно нам помогает, а?
Necessarily at our intended destination. Instead, they're found along the way.
Huh. Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently?
Тебе тоже нравится Сабзерус?
No, not particularly. I guess you could say that I'm loving the recent atmosphere here. If festivals bring happiness to everyone, then that's where their true value lies. Oh, it looks like it's about time for me to be heading back now.
Какая печалька.
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventures Guild. Oh, by the way, thanks for connecting us with the Eremites. We've already made some great friends in Sumeru City thanks to you.
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already
Кстати,
been
спасибо,
blessed
что
by the
напомнила
elements of
собой,
Dendro
что
after
мы
all.
должны еще ежедневку делать.
See you around.
Ох уж этот фарм. Мама.
There's something really different about Catherine today.
Hey, traveler. Paimon.
Эй, покемон.
Oh, hey, Dia. What's going on?
I've got something to tell ya. My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali, and she's been trying to come up with a way to help you. Well, I have an idea that might help.
Ну-ка, давай докладывай.
It might not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much. I'll need to take you to someone and ask someone some questions.
Как ее задница поживает?
My lady is feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu's found a place for her to rest. After I take my lady home, let's meet in front of the Citadel of Regzar.
Sounds like a plan. Let's head over to the Citadel of Regzar and wait for Dia.
Что-то я до сих пор ни разу на карте ни одного квеста не видел. Нормально ли это или нет? А, кстати, сейчас, наверное, телепорт заодно откроем, да? Так. Давай, веди нас. Звездный путь. Star Trek. О, мультик пошел.
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the master and mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only sitting in the port for a while because she was in a bad mood. Anyway, I guess I should be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy in a long time. If it wasn't for you two, she probably would have been caught and dragged back much earlier.
You sure sound a whole lot nicer than when we first met, Dia. Who would have thought you had such a soft spot for Dunyarzad?
It's called being a professional. I'm a bodyguard, and I work for whoever's paying.
Look, Dia's blushing.
Она смущена.
Listen, you two.
Это что? Вы что, офигели, что ли?
I don't expect to be working for Miss Dunyarzad very long, but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel. We'll see if the person I know has a way for you two to meet with the Lesser Lord. Oh, hey, Chief.
Шеф, привет.
Ah, Dia, what are you doing here? And well, didn't expect to see you three together.
I take it you all know each other already?
Mm-hmm. We met this morning after the Adventurers Guild pointed us to Osfon for more info.
No kidding. Huh. So, where's Ruksha? I thought I'd help these two out by asking about the theft. Anything you can tell him?
Ruksha's gone over to the Academia. The Grand Sage recently ordered Sumeru City to begin bolstering its defenses, so people from all over have been called back to the city. Since you've already mentioned the theft, I suppose I might as well tell him what we know.
Appreciate it, Chief.
Theft? Sorry, what the heck are you guys talking about?
Just recently, the Academia lost something, and there's a chance the item is connected with the Dendro Archon. This case might just somehow help you in meeting her.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. But if you ask me, the case is more about the academia than anything else. Let me fill you in. The academia recently sent a convoy to pick up an important package from Aru village. Word got out, and the convoy was robbed on its way back. The Grand Sage took the whole matter very seriously. Not only did he dispatch the Matra, but also enlisted our help in the search for leads.
Омск называется у них.
All we know so far is that whatever was stolen is currently in Port Ormos.
You two have heard of Port Ormos, haven't you? It's the largest commercial port in all of Sumeru. You can travel there by leaving Sumeru City and heading south along the river. The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach all the way to Port Ormos, so the city's a little more laid back, meaning the population's also a mixed bag. You never know who you'll meet there.
Apparently what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha, knowledge, and even the gods. I'm afraid I don't have any other details for you, though. If you're interested, maybe you could head to Port Ormos and ask around yourself.
Академии?
If you want
Серьезно?
my advice, try...
Are you serious, Chief? All the Academia students are in Sumeru City, you know. Why should they pretend to be students in Port Ormos?
If you're also interested, just go there and see what happens.
Count me out. I've got plenty of work to do here for the Homayani family. And take it from me, if you two really do decide to visit Port Ormos, you'd best watch your backs. Let's just say that the Eremites there aren't nearly as friendly as those here in Sumeru City. There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for the Scarlet King." Word is that more and more are joining their movement. They're becoming a real headache for Chief and the others.
You bet they are. The Scarlet King's been dead for thousands of years. Now they start spreading rumors of his return. Ridiculous.
Not everyone's like you, Chief. Even the desert natives who abandoned their homes in the wilderness still wish to have a god of their own. Well, Traveler, that's about all the information we have for you.
Thanks, Dia! And you too, Osfond! Since we've gathered all we could for the moment in Sumeru City, let's head to Port Ormos and see what we can find next.
Miss Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Sub-Zerus Festival, so be sure to get yourselves back here in time for that.
Я помню о своем обещании.
Good. Then we'll see you both at the Sub-Zerus Festival.
Фестиваль Сабзира, короче, у нас. Внизу. Так. Появилась квест колеи. Ага, кайф. Прикольно. Далеко нам идти-то? Смотри-ка, у меня там телепорт есть. Даже так? Not bad, not bad. Не кровать. Прогулочной походкой.
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional
Специи.
spices of the highest
Знаете, я бы к ней зашел за
made with
специями.
pride and experience.
You've got a deal. I can't thank you enough for always looking after my business.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict, but does the core of 30 care? And that's not all. Did you know that...
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! Guess that's only to be expected for the largest port in Sumeru. Maybe it's because of what Dia told us earlier, but Paimon can't seem to shake the feeling that there's also danger lurking in these crowds. Let's get our bearings so we can start looking for leads.
We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. But other than that, we don't have much else to go on. Osva told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way here, and the Academia doesn't seem to have any research facilities in Port Ormos. Paimon doesn't get it.
Порнос.
Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and
Давай это
asking
и
about the
проясним
stolen
сначала,
item?
наверное.
Well, given all the people that come through here every day, if there's any information to be found, Paimon bets we could find it in the market. Let's ask around and see what we come up with.
Поблизости.
Welcome. Welcome. How can I help you two?
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question. Do students from the Academia ever come to Port Ormos?
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City that are about to graduate often come to Port Ormos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the Academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the Academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos, so students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the Academia. You see over there? Those are students from the Academia.
Стандартные модельки. Они все такие нервные.
They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days ago. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need, then life is good.
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can listen in.
Давайте послушаем.
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about the Scarlet King and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein El Ahmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the Academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be made. I've heard that Ein El Hakmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 Mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to graduate this way.
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research?
Да, это очень подозрительно.
So, what's our plan?
Пойду в таверну Джафар.
Wait, didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us
Знаешь, достоверная информация стоит денег.
Oh, all right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of Mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot.
Таверна Жираф называется. далековато. Поведи меня. О, как хорошо, когда есть путеводная звезда. Чего, все нормально. Я лист твой свистнул. Можешь больше не стараться искать. Нашел место. Мне даже показали, где искать. Буквально.
Oh, you've arrived. Please take a seat. So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of the Scarlet King, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
Улыбается опять, господи, что ты меня задолбал, главный герой.
Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion.
Почему твоя сестра так часто не улыбается?
A significant amount of more this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick mora?
Yeah, with boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is the Scarlet King, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when the Scarlet King exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Господи, как меня бесит твое лицо. О чем они говорят? Так, предательство великой властительницы рук Храваты? Да, Паймон тоже интересно. Давай спросим об этом, когда представится возможность. Давай спросим. Не, вы серьезно хотите в лоб это спросить? О, какие вы тупые. Вас едят. Тарик.
Huh? Who are you? What do you want?
Я путешественник.
A traveler?
Путешественник.
Now's probably not the time to talk about that. Didn't the students say?
Нам, короче, не будем. Я сдам всех. А, нет, я учусь в академии.
A student? What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port
Кто-то забыл в Порт Омске. Я хочу узнать о вещи.
Ah, well, if it's info you want, you come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
На. Давай 50.
What is this? Some kind of joke?
Сейчас тебе по морде дам.
Sorry, he must have grabbed the wrong amount. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
В смысле?
Paimon can't stand to see so much more ago.
Серьезно их отнимают сейчас, нет?
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there.
Я как бы копил
What are you
мору.
waiting for?
Можно было бы из них выбить информацию, нет? Хочу спросить еще кое о чем.
Oh, that's right. We heard you mention the Scarlet King just now. We're actually interested to know more because we're archaeology students.
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora,
И еще миллион тебе
I
дать,
throw
да?
in a little extra info.
Сволочь.
As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of the Scarlet King. Years ago, the Scarlet King founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. The Scarlet King was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed the Scarlet King's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. The Scarlet King isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of the
Давай
Scarlet
притворимся,
King.
будто мы станем. Алый король возвращается.
I don't have anything to say to you academia people about
пошел
that.
ты в жопу.
I think this conversation has reached its end.
Not just yet.
Как угодно.
This man is a fraud.
О, кто это?
You again? Deranged academia
Я, кажется,
lunatic.
понял, кто это.
Yes, it's me again.
Это еще один игровой персонаж, которого анонсировали. Вернее, не анонсировали, его показывали как игрового.
Uncomfortable for you. Listen to me.
Красавчик.
That address he gave you is fake. Or at least you won't find a merchant waiting for you there.
Местный
This group
Dainslave.
has been boasting all around that they can provide information on
Очень
a
надеюсь,
certain
он будет
item as a
игровым.
means of luring people into
И
their
не лучником
territory.
лучше.
Once you show up,
В этом вот
they
давлении
keep up the
лучников,
act
мне
until
кажется,
they have
хватает.
hard
Да и
evidence
вообще, в
that you
принципе.
want to purchase said item.
Катализаторов
Then they use
мало,
that to squeeze you
особенно
for all the more
ледяных.
you're worth.
Hey, shut it all, Hatham.
Да, кстати,
What are
глянуть,
you
есть
playing
ли
at,
у него
trying to
глаз
ruin
бога?
our business like this, hmm?
Чтобы точно знать, что он будет игровым
I told you the
персонажем.
other day. I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used the
Да,
word to
смотри, у
negotiate the
него прям
ownership
на
of
виду
Teyvat.
висит глаз бога.
If,
Дендра.
on the other hand,
Идеально.
we can't
Чел,
agree
давай
on
быстрее
any means of
выходи, я буду
negotiation
тебя
at all,
играть.
then I'm afraid
Стопудово
my
ты
next
будешь
course of
классным.
action will sting a little more than the
Значит,
mere
это
following
уже не
through of a
совсем
few
местный
business deals.
Dainslave, потому что
I
у
will
Dainslave
jeopardize the Eremite's
магия тьмы
reputation,
какая-то,
which I know you
а
value
не
above all
магия
else.
элементов.
I am quite confident that
Значит,
if I
он,
began
скорее
to
всего, не
take such
станет
action,
персонажем
your boss would
играбельным. А
willingly
вот
approach me
раз у
himself.
этого глаз бога,
However,
значит, он
I
когда-нибудь
fear
обязательно
that by
станет.
then, some things will have happened that
Логично,
cannot
логично.
be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay, then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000
А,
more to them.
значит, не просто так мы им дали. Я уж думал, что распрощался с ней.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students.
Красивый, да, у него мятный наряд. А это, видимо, уставший смотреть на его глаза.
Someone who chooses to do
Наверное, раз в
business with a
неделю
group
спит.
like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts
Такой
them about
загадочный
it.
персонаж.
Consider the
Наверняка
meal
сейчас исчезнет,
compensation
и
for
мы
our
больше его не
silence.
увидим. Только
I'd
уже
say
на
you're getting an excellent
релизе с его квестом личным.
Did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, but sent the Emirites running too. Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions.
Давай догоним.
He went that way. After him.
Блин. Я даже... А, не то нажал. Я даже заблудился. Пока бежал. Погоди, тебя зовут Аль-Хайтам.
What do you want?
А в чем дело? Спасибо за помощь, братишка.
No need for thanks.
Не стоит
My goal was to get
благодарности,
to
они
them,
были
and
моей
you two
целью.
gave me just the
Вы просто
opportunity
дали
I
мне
needed.
возможность.
Where
Считайте, что мы в
Oh,
расчете.
I advise you to keep your distance
Дам
from them.
совет, держитесь от
Since they
них
weren't able
подальше,
to
и
make
мне
off with your
удалось
Mora in
овладеть
the
моей
end.
Морой.
They might
Поэтому
harass
в
you
будущем
again in
они
the future.
будут доставать вам неудобства.
All right.
На этом все.
Goodbye.
Прощайте.
Hold your horses.
Подожди, у нас есть к тебе несколько вопросов.
Since
Но
you
ведет он
tore
себя
through their
точно как
scam right
Dainslave.
in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
exactly are you
Точно будет
two?
пятизвездочным.
And why are you inquiring about that?
Я учусь в академии.
A student. Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Ну, знаешь ли, я и мечом тоже владею. Как языком.
Oh, yeah. He's really strong. Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
He doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Чел, у меня просто есть стихия.
But he can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from from guys like that. Those hot-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
Необычные глаза, да, у него? Похоже, он тоже из Элиархов.
All right. I accept.
Есть ручка и бумага. Откуда у них ручка? Перо, наверное, должно быть
that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck. We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
You were willing to part with 500,000 mora for something and you didn't even know what it was? Okay.
Логичный вопрос.
Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating
Может, ты сам мне
information.
расскажешь?
We know it's connected to the academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some
Она связана
students
со
want to get a
знаниями
hold of it
вообще-то.
too. What else?
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking
А
for.
что это?
Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned
Маленькая
knowledge.
Акаша?
It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents.
А что, прям любой человек?
Correct. Anyone.
Абсолютно.
Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information, knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Now, in Port Ormos, the valuable ones are a means to mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless academia students. Well, I think that about sums it up.
Говорят, недавно Академия потеряла некую вещь.
Oh, so that's your true objective.
Ну-ка, давай с этого момента поподробнее.
With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer.
Мы можем обсудить условия, кстати.
You're still resolved. Fine. Let's talk somewhere with fewer people.
Побежали. Смысл тормозить-то, да?
Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must help me with something.
Так, что за дело?
I need you to find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant. Unlike the peddlers who hawk inferior knowledge capsules, she often has quality goods in stock. Some say that as long as there is profit to be made, there is nothing she won't dare to sell. She's guarded against people from the academia because most of her wares don't comply with academia regulations. I think she blacklisted me. I met with her informant, but it soon became clear that they had no intention of letting me get any further. Become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust. This is my condition for further collaboration.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task, you don't have question privileges.
Fine. So how do we go about doing this?
You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. I'll give you the informant's address and their contact password. Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she might have up her sleeve. You'll have to improvise.
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for Mora and a shrewd eye for wares, and she only likes customers who she deems to have good taste. I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her highest quality wares and earn her approval.
But we only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time. We don't know how to tell which ones are good and which ones are bad. Is that something we can learn quickly?
That's true. Have you two heard of elemental sight? Oh? That's a surprise. Guess I'll have to hold you in higher regard. Anyway, that ability should resolve your issue. Here are 2 knowledge capsules. Tell me, can you detect any difference in their quality?
They look the same to Paimon.
Try inspecting them with elemental sight.
Ну-ка давай, заценим. Значит, все-таки разница какая-то есть. Левая светится ярче.
Rumor has it that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through elemental sight.
Можно свой бизнес открывать теперь.
That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. The more powerful the knowledge, the richer it is in Dendro energy. However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use in contemporary times, so those capsules are of little value. Using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure, but it should suffice for earning Dory's trust.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password, and here is the Mora for purchasing canned knowledge. Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. If there's any Mora left over, just keep it.
Да, она ж типа цыганка, поэтому она любитель Моры, да? Особенный.
And be sure to exercise some caution. There have been Matra present in Port Ormos lately. Your efforts will be for naught if they catch you.
Matra?
They belong to the Academia's regulatory body. They also handle cases of illegal canned knowledge transactions. Like I said, the Academia has banned both their trade and possession. The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back out, now's the time. Okay, then we have a deal. If you succeed in your dealings with Dory, come find me at the Wikela Funduk. We'll have an open discussion then.
Looking at what Al-Haytham wrote, Dory's informant is a trader near Old Ormos.
Тут все близко, интересно, да?
Let's follow these instructions and try to get in contact with him.
Лаваш его зовут?
Hello.
А,
What are you
Латиш.
two looking to buy?
Мы хотим купить незрелые фрукты Хара.
Wait, are you sure you're remembering that right?
Да?
Paimon doesn't think it was that on the
Значит,
paper.
я ошибся. Мы хотим купить несладкие фрукты Хара.
What a unique palate. We have unripe Hara fruits, but we usually keep them in the back.
Надеюсь, там меня не побьют.
I'll have someone escort you.
Following the paper got us past the first round.
Ronak, these two want to buy unripe Hara fruits. Show them to the warehouse.
Got it. You two, please follow me. You two have a fascinating fashion sense.
Опять
We haven't seen a customer wearing a Sumeru rose for
сопровождение,
quite
да?
some time.
Вон за девчонкой пойдем.
Hold on. Let me think.
Попой будем вилять, да?
Sumeru rose means
Хотя она плоская вроде как.
No, look again. We're obviously wearing morning flowers.
Ah, my mistake. I do apologize.
Whew. That pop quiz sure was scary.
Ah, the warehouse is up ahead. Please follow me.
Да, давай, можешь не торопиться, я подожду. Мне не сложно, да? Что? Типа сюжет нельзя продолжить, пока не выполнил задание, отвергнутая игрушка? Серьезно? Как? Вот это вот? Это еще и временное задание, офигеть. А что будет, когда время закончится, типа? А основной сюжет будет вообще не пройти или что? Понятно. Событие.
Port Ormos is pretty great. There's so many new and interesting things, not to mention all the tasty food. Sumeru's largest commercial port.
Наверное, здесь найдутся и огорченные люди.
And everyone seems excited just to be here.
How did things end up like this?
All thanks to your artistic license. That's how. I should have made you wait until we got an update from Tanja.
Танжера? Это же персонаж из клинка рассекающего демона. Китайцы решили все сплагиатить, походу.
That's why we tried bringing it out for a test run today.
Well, I never thought they'd dislike it so much.
Что зависит?
Oh, what should we do?
Например, эти двое явно чем-то огорчены.
Whoa. Yeah. Compared to everyone else, they seem really down in the dumps. Let's go find out what's going on. Oh, hey there. Paimon's name is Paimon, and he's a traveler who is just passing by. Is there something bothering you?
Oh, I noticed you two a moment ago. Welcome to Akara Crafts, the best toy store in Port Ormos. At least for now. What's bothering us is this prototype Aranara.
Смотри.
To start with,
Симпатичный челик. Это как раз таки тот сосед.
Prototype Aranara? You mean this would
А звучит как название какого-то оружия. Ну да.
Oh, no. The prototype Aranara is
Радость.
something that brings
Но он же
joy and
такой
laughter
грустный
to
чел.
children.
Даже шляпка такая желтенькая, будто бы потускневшая.
Not the first negative feedback we've had.
Опять это критика. Чел, тебя по делу критикуют, но почему ты не прислушиваешься-то?
So for context, Aranara are
Лесные
magical
эльфы, герои
creatures
сказок
in
Сумеру.
Sumerian fairy
Кстати,
tales that live
его
in the
мы и
forest.
видели.
For the
Того
store's 20th
грибного
anniversary,
соседа в прошлой
we plan
серии
to
в
release
конце.
a series of hand-carved toys based on the Aranara stories that kids know and love. This is a prototype we made to get an idea of how they would react. But when we put it out there, the reaction was not quite what we'd anticipated.
They thought it looked like a mushroom too, huh?
No, worse than that, actually. I can't quite describe it, though. And I'm also not very good with kids. Maybe you could ask them for yourselves.
Типа дети их видят, да? Так же, как и сны. Ну, как я понял. Ну что, детишки, рассказывайте.
This is not an Aranara.
Я не
No
верю.
way. I've read Uncle Tanja's Aranara and the Ill Little Fungus. It says that Aranara are supposed to be chubby and squishy. The carving looks nothing like that.
Косит.
Toys do look better when they're round
Ты
and
чё косишь?
chubby. Uncle Tonder said in Aranara's vow that you can deceive the eyes, but you can't deceive the heart.
Но сердце не обманешь.
Makes me feel lost and confused inside. I don't think the creator put his heart into it
Походу
at all.
придется нам игрушку эту делать, да?
Nara. Didn't put his heart into it, huh? Oh, sounds like one of those things that's easier said than understood.
Kassid and Alia didn't like this carving, but I think it's okay. It doesn't look too happy, so it's kind of pitiful in a cute way.
Oh, a positive review!
Yeah, so I would totally ask my dad to get it for me, if it wasn't meant to be a Nara.
Oh, well, that took a sudden turn for the worse. We asked the children for their opinions.
Oh, how did it go? Has it maybe, grown on them at all?
Понимаю, что вы чувствуете.
Oh, this is such a shame.
Мамаду.
Why isn't Tanja back from Gandharvaville yet?
Oh, the kids kept mentioning an Uncle Tanger too. Who is he exactly?
Uncle Tanger is a famous children's author here in
Детский
Port
писатель.
Ormos. He wrote
Может быть,
quite
он
a few
тоже
stories in the past, but
этих
none of them
грибов.
were popular among children. Just like our prototype Haranara. But around a year or so ago, he suddenly had a eureka moment or something, and suddenly the children loved every one of his stories.
That's right. My little Ghaffari loves his stories too. The whole reason we decided to make these carvings was because we saw just how popular the Aranara are among children. We asked Tanja for guidance, but right after he agreed, he went off to Gandharvaville with his son to look for inspiration. They haven't returned yet. We were running out of time, so we had no choice but to carve an Aranara based on our own imaginations. As you can see, this was a result.
Да.
Oh, we have to do something.
Надо его увидеть,
Since
чтобы
you're the
сделать из
famous
него игрушку.
traveler, could you do us a favor and look for Tanger in Gandharvaville? He doesn't have to come in person if he's too busy. Just ask him to write down his suggestions and bring his notes back to us, if you could. Please, if only to put a smile on the children's faces. And, of course, you'll be well compensated for doing us the favor.
They seem pretty desperate. Let's help them
Ладно,
out.
детские улыбки это довод.
Smile. Yep, let's do it.
И где ж ты такой обитаешь? Вау.
Supposed to be here in Gandharvaville looking for inspiration. But how do we find him? Should we yell his name at the top of our lungs?
Hey, buddy. What's your name? What are you doing here all alone? Do you live in Gandharvaville? Regardless, don't worry. As a trainee forest ranger, I'll do everything I can to help you.
Hi, Miss Forest Ranger. I'm Rozzy. Don't mind me. I know the way back to Gandharvaville.
When people say, don't mind me, what they really mean is don't worry about me. That's all the more reason not to leave you alone. Hey, don't cry. What's wrong? take your time. You can tell me all about it.
Huh. That voice sounds familiar. Paimon's heard it somewhere before. Oh, it's Kale! And a child who seems to be upset. Oh, let's go say hi. Hi, Kale. How have you been?
Paimon and Traveler. I've been doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. I'm helping Master Tighnari patrol the forest. What brings you here?
We're here on an errand. We heard your voice, so we thought we'd come ask you for help. You seem kinda busy, though.
I'll be fine. You go help them first, Miss Forest Ranger. I'm okay, really. The sand got into my eyes, that's all.
What a well-mannered child.
Sand? There is not a lot of sand in a forest. You keep saying you're okay because you don't want us to know what you're upset about, right?
Maybe.
That's exactly why you have to get it off your chest. Here's a trick. If you're keeping a secret that bothers you, you can try telling it all to a tree hollow.
A tree hollow?
Yeah, a tree hollow. Do you know Tanja's stories? The Aranar living in the forest will patiently listen to every word children say. Maybe there really are Aranar living in the tree hollows that will listen to you.
You like the R&R stories too?
Of course! I love them!
Oh, people who like R&R are the best! Okay, I'll try telling my secrets to a tree hollow. Thanks, Miss Forest Ranger. You know everything.
Aw, you're just exaggerating. Anyway, I'm trying to be like my friend, who always does her best to cheer people up when they seem sad. So, how are you doing? Feeling any better now? The forest is very dangerous, so how about we stick together?
Sure.
Wow, Kale's so good with kids.
Well, helping children who are lost in the rainforest is all part of a forest ranger's duty. So, what was it you wanted help with? You're not lost too, are you? Okay, so you're looking for a children's author from Port Olmos called Tanja. And he's here in Gandharvaville, looking for inspiration. Wait. When you say Tanja, do you mean the Tanja?
That's right, Uncle Tanja.
So he's in the area? Looking for inspiration for a new story as we speak? This is amazing. Could you wait for me for a second? I'll run Razi back to Gandharvaville and then I'll be right back. I've always been curious what the man behind those incredible stories is like in person.
Tanja's just a normal guy.
Even so, he must be more creative than most people. Wait, hold on. Razi, do you mean you've met Tanja before?
Mm-hmm. He's my dad.
Your dad? Tanja's your dad? As in you're Tanja's son?
Uh-huh.
Ah, Paimon sees. That guy at Akara Crafts told us that Tanja brought his son along with him. So he meant Razi. Why are you here on your own, though? Did you and Tanja get separated?
We had an argument. I was upset, so I ran off here by myself.
Oh, in that case, we should take you back to Gandharvaville first. Then we'll look for your dad and tell him where you are.
No, I'm good. Thanks for your advice, Kale. I'm not so upset anymore. Come with me. I'll take you to him.
Yay! Thanks, Razi! Paimon thought we'd be spending the whole day looking for him. Oh my gosh! I can't believe I'm actually gonna meet the Tanja!
Oh.
So Tanja headed this way. Feeling all right today. I'll take the chance to try to get some more done than usual. I'll protect us.
Illusion shattered.
Take them. I have no need.
There is no escape.
Ладно, давайте на этом пока что закончим, потом продолжим. А пока что подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, пишите комментарии. И всем пока!
You